5:30 Thursday, the 24th of October, Chelsea continue their European adventure, their Europa Conference League adventure, as they travel to Greece to take on Greek giants Panathinaikos. Welcome back to the Antonio Mango Football Channel, and if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash up the like button to support this channel. And today we're going to do a match review on Panathinaikos against Chelsea. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I really want Chelsea to win this competition. They'll create history in doing so. They'll become the first team to ever win the Champions League, Europa League, and the Europa Conference League. Pretty much completing the set. And I'm a firm believer in football that no matter the competition, no matter the stature of the competition, every single competition you should want to win it. And I don't see why Chelsea can't win it, even with their second B team. But before we get on to Chelsea, let's talk a little bit about what I know about Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos only won 2 of the last 7 games, but I wouldn't look at that to sway your judgment, because they've actually, when I look at their squad, got a really experienced side. They've actually got a really impressive spine of their team. Now, if you take a look at centre-back Tim Jevaj, 8-year-old Croatian, he's actually done the rounds. He's been at Roma, Bayer Leverkusen. So he's really experienced in these bigger clubs. Another centre-back they've got is Philipp Max, a 31-year-old German who has been at the likes of Eintracht and PSV. So they've experienced these European football nights. I think we all remember Azzedine Unani, a 24-year-old Moroccan who put his name in the lights at the World Cup. He was one of the stars in what was a heroic campaign for Morocco. After the World Cup, he was linked to numerous different clubs, including Man United and Chelsea, but he did go to Marseille and it didn't quite work out in Marseille. Now he finds himself at Panathinaikos. They've also got Facundo Palestri, once of Man United, and also got Teddy, 24-year-old Brazilian, who spent time at Leicester City, Lyon, Shakhtar Donetsk, Galatasaray, now finds himself at Panathinaikos. And they've actually got 2 strikers. Now, I don't know which will stop because I have rotated them this season, but they've got Fotis Leonidas, who scored 15 league goals last season. And they've also got Serbian Filip Jurisic. Now, some of you might remember him because he's been around the block as well. He's been to Sampdoria, Benfica, Anderlecht, Mainz, and he's also spent a loan spell at Southampton. So they've actually got some really experienced players, and I actually think this is Chelsea's toughest Conference League game. Now, what do I expect from them in a playing style? Well, I cannot lie, I haven't watched every single Panathinaikos game, but I have done some research, and they do like to keep the ball. They keep the ball extremely well. They've got some neat, tidy footballers that just keep it ticking. They've actually averaging the most possession in their league this season. And then what they want to do is get their wingers to express themselves, whether that be Teddy, who's a really impressive, quick, nippy dribbler, or Facundo Palestri. And then their 2 forwards are 2 big physical forwards. Leonidas is a bit more mobile, but Jurisic is a handful. So I do expect Panathinaikos to have a lot of possession, because we've seen in a Maresca system that he doesn't like to just play sideward passes for the sake of it. When he gets the ball, he's extremely decisive and looks to play forward. So there's going to be spells in the game where Panathinaikos are just keeping the ball along the back line, and I'm okay with that. Now, this is how I would set up and how I think Enzo Maresca would set up. I would stick to his philosophy as an inverted fullback. I think that works. It's his style, and Chelsea are actually really impressive. But I would start with Jorgensen in goal. I think that goes without saying. I think we all know he's going to start. He's done well when he has come in. Now it's his chance to really put down a marker and say, I want this number 1 spot. These are the games he's got to use to really say to the manager, you can't leave me out. At right back, this is really interesting because we're seeing both Malo Gusto and Reece James starting against Liverpool. And I don't think Maresca likes to play players twice in 1 week, especially when we've got a tough game against Newcastle coming up as well. But I'm going to put it out there, this would be the perfect opportunity for Josh Acheampong to come in. Malo Gusto and Reece James both played against Liverpool. We don't have a natural right back. Disasi last time when he's there. So it is a shame to see what's happening with Josh Acheampong. And I hate this political business side of the game where contract talks get in the way of players developing. Josh Acheampong is actually perfect for Enzo Maresca. He can play centre-back, so he can cover the right centre-back when you're inverting your left-back. He can play right-back, or he can invert himself in the midfield because he's technically a very good footballer. And I can't lie, it would be a shame to lose him because I think he's got a big, big future, and I would love that future to be at Chelsea. There's nothing more beautiful than a player coming out of the academy and really establishing themselves as a first-team starter. And I think Chelsea fans really take to that. So I'm just praying these negotiations get resolved, but this game would have been a perfect opportunity for him to come into. But with that being said, I do think Reece James is #1 right back, so I think Malo Gusto will start. And because Reece James has just come back from injury, so the fact that he played against Liverpool, I don't think he's going to play tonight. And then the rest of the team kind of speaks for itself. I think it's going to be the same setup as what we're seeing against Genk. Disasi at centre-back, partnered by Balashil. I think Balashil against Liverpool came on, had a really impressive cameo, so that'll give him confidence coming into this game. Renato Viega left back, I think he's the type of profile you want in this game because the game's going to be feisty. Their fans are extremely hostile, so you want that sort of figure, that sort of physicality, that sort of bravery. Somebody that doesn't give any fucks about where he is, just to really put it on the opposition. And then the two centre midfielders will be Cassidy and Dewsbury Hall. I've been really impressed with Cassidy, despite him playing a different role than what he naturally does. In the front four, Pedro Neto on the right, Mudryk on the left, João Felix as an attack midfielder, and Christopher Nkunku as a forward. That front line is devastating. So there's my team on full display. Now, what's going to be interesting is whether Enzo Fernandez gets a start. Because as you all know, he didn't start against Liverpool. It was Lavia and Caicedo that was favoured. But personally, I don't think he'll start because I think with Dewsbury Hall and Enzo, you've got no physicality at all. And lastly, I want to correct myself. I said at the start that Panathinaikos were 12th in their league. I didn't mean 12. What I meant to say was they're 6th in their league on 12 points. But getting back to Chelsea, I think it's very interesting with Enzo Fernandez because he will not want to be left out 2 games on the trot. And then when it gets to Newcastle, I think Lavia and Caicedo have pretty much firmly made them spots their own. I think that performance against Liverpool showed the potential that they have as a duo is quite frightening. So the more they play with each other, the continuity that we're going to allow them to develop and get used to each other and build that partnership, the better it will be. So I do expect that partnership to start against Newcastle, and I'm actually really excited for it. But we all know Cole Palmer, Lavia, Fofana are not in the squad, so they'll not be travelling with the team. But I want to throw another one out there. I would just leave Reece James at home. I would just tell him, put his feet up, relax, enjoy the night, watch it on TV, do what you've got to do, have yourself a little takeaway if you want, well, you know. But just relax. You don't need to be there. He does not need to be there. This team is has more than enough quality to get a result at Panathinaikos. But it's also a chance for this team to say again to Maresca, you can't leave me out. I'm a difference maker. I should be starting those Premier League games. Pedro Neto's knocking the door. Mudryk, he actually played really well against Ghent. I would love to see another performance like that. Christopher Nkunku, can he get on the score sheet again? But you know what? I would like to see a bit more from João Felix. I know he's been good, but we know how good he can be. I want him to really become a cog in the attacking sense. But that's enough about me. I want to hear from you guys. What's your starting 11? What do you think the result will be? I'm going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea win, but it's going to be a comfortable win. But I want to hear your predictions. Let us know in the comments below. Once again, thank you very much for watching.